So, hey everybody, I just wanted to tell you about a huge dream I had last night, and I believe it is really, really important for everyone to know, and so I will get right to it. I dreamt that I was in this restaurant or restaurant or cafe in my dream, and I was getting ready to eat, and then for some reason, I went back. I was getting ready to eat, but for some reason I went in the back to do something. That's what it was. I don't remember what it was that I had to do. But when I came back in, hang on a second. Let's see my spot here. Oh yeah, when I came back to sit down is what it was. I saw a couple actresses and actors walking in this restaurant. A couple of them I recognized as Nick Lachey and from 90 Degrees and Jessica Simpson, and I also recognize Holly Marie Combs, and she is from Pretty Little Liars and Charmed. I recognize them in this dream, and then I noticed they walked in. I sat down. I don't remember where they sat down. As I sat down, I happened to peek out this window, or the window that was in the front, or the door at this restaurant. Of course, when I did, I noticed I saw these white trucks. And when I saw these white trucks driving by, they had the symbol of the EU or the European on it, and from what it was showing. And I was like, okay, like, I knew what they were. They were actually rounding people up. So they were taking people in these trucks. And I kept trying to hide, but every place that I would try to hide, they would find me, so I couldn't hide anywhere. Sometimes they even had dogs, or at least like cadaver dogs, to come and find us, because, or sniff us out. If we tried to hide. So I kept trying to hide, but every time I would hide, they would find me, and then they even set dogs out. First time that they got me, I remember I was in this weird room, and it was kind of big, and it was, like, they had some chairs, and they had a table set, and on the other side just looked really, really creepy. And I'll get to that in a minute. But first day they got me, I was in this room, and I was seated on a chair, and I was sitting actually next to my brother, which he doesn't live in Michigan right now, so this was really, really weird. He was sitting right next to me for some reason, and he already was pretty much out of it. He was like asleep. They told me that they were going to put something in my right shoulder specifically, that would shock my body, like to go through my body and shock it, like a needle or something. Like a game of Let's Tell the Truth, like to tell if you were lying or telling the truth. That's what it was, like the game. Well, hang on a second. I was talking to them. Okay, yes. Sorry, I keep losing my place a lot. Yeah, I was talking to them about Jesus, and as I had noticed that they were getting tired of me talking about him. So then they ended up strapping me to this machine, or this weird thing I had to lay on, and I went kind of like up on this thing. And when I did, I screamed and I cried. I remember this. I was like calling out to Jesus, and I was like crying, and I was screaming and everything. But I couldn't do anything because I was strapped to that, so I couldn't do anything. And I couldn't do anything is what it was. But I looked to my right. And when I looked to my right, I noticed when I looked to my right, it wasn't like makeshift graves. It was more like coffins, like the wooden coffins they would use now, or even back when. So it was interesting to see them on my right side. And next thing I remember, they chopped my head off. That was the next thing I remembered in this dream, is I chopped my head off. And nothing after that I remember, except for this looked like I was in the spirit, and I was telling my brother, I'm like, because they were telling him all kinds of stuff, to not believe in Jesus and all these other things, like telling him lies. And I was like, no, whatever they tell you, don't do it. Do not do it. Whatever they tell you, don't do it. I was being serious, like very serious. The next scene, I appeared to be hiding again in this one. It was a huge yard, or a house I was at. And I went to hide, and when I went to hide in this weird kids' tent or something. And as I did, I was peeking out of this kids' tent, and I noticed that there was more people being rounded up, like in a line. They were being rounded up to go into these trucks, these white European or Union trucks. But again, I couldn't hide long because they found me. Yeah, once again, like I said, they had found me. I couldn't hide. It's like I couldn't hide anywhere, because everywhere I would go, they would find me. Later on, however, in this dream, and it was like I was in the spirit again. I wasn't, like, flesh, like I was in spirit. It seemed like I was in this spirit again. I was back at this restaurant, or this cafe, and as I was there, I noticed this lady was crying, like she was really, really crying. She was looking on this chalkboard. I noticed there was a chalkboard on the right side that had been set up. As I looked over on that chalkboard, it had the names of people who had just died from being beheaded, or, you know, things like that. And when I happened to look over on the right side, I noticed my name was up there. So that was my dream. That was definitely my dream. And my name was up on the upper right corner as well. So yeah, this dream, it scared me when I woke up. So kind of scared me, but I figured it was very, very important for people to know, so they know what's really going on. So, alright, I'm going to post this, and I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.